Second thing my teacher did with me was, and then mix it up, this is all kind of 1-2 punch here. Same thing in a way. She'll get you to look down. Again, the eyes are really important here. Eyes just sort of lead a little bit. And usually when we do this, it's like a turtle. But there's a way of doing this where you don't have to do that turtle thing. You don't have to shorten your neck. And you can look down, but your head goes up. Think of looking down, but think of my head going up. Do it pretty slow. Let the eyes lead a little bit. And you actually lengthen instead of your usual shortening. Wow, that's very interesting. And then you go back up. Again, eyes leading a little bit. And this one, you really would cram your head in your body ordinarily. This one, you'd go straight turtle mode. But there's a way of doing this where head goes up like doing that. This was a little, but boy, a little work on this. Maybe you can't go that far. You just get into trouble when you go too far. So just a little bit here. That one you can go. If you get really good at this, well, you're getting all kind of tension, but there's so much tension in the head and the neck and the shoulder. And the head and the shoulder are so tense. Drunk Rinpoche says, a warrior is, the main point of being a warrior is called good head and shoulders. What does good head and shoulders mean? Good head and shoulders mean the head is not in conflict with the shoulders. That means you're not all tense. You're working stuff out the other way instead of always going the wrong way. Just being frozen, not knowing you're frozen, have no way of knowing you're frozen, have no way of freeing yourself. You're hopeless, really. I mean, you meditate, you look good, you're back, you're cheerier when you get off your cushion, but 10 minutes later, hopeless. You try to do some mental positive things, and there's nothing greater than trying not to do all these mental positive things, but what you have to understand, being a Buddhist means I know I'm doing it wrong. I know I'm wrong. I know my ego is in charge and he's doing everything wrong, and I have to change. That's the only point of being the Buddhist, is I need to change and discover a different way of doing this than the ego way. A lot of people are Buddhists, but they don't understand they're supposed to change. That is foreign to them. They don't want to change anything. If you start talking to them about changing anything, they say, screw you, I'm not changing nothing. I'm just going to do what I do. I get a little peace out of this, and I found a little groove here, and I try to be positive, I try to help others. They don't really want to change anything about themselves. That's not Buddhism, man. I don't know what that is. That's just like being a Christian or something. I mean, I'm not putting down Christians, but it's being a very low level student. I mean, if you do not grasp this point, that being a Buddhist means you need to change yourself fundamentally, and you need to get on it right now, and you need to be ruthless about it, and you need to be all over that project. You do not need to be self-satisfied, but you can meditate for a little bit and feel some peace, which can go away immediately. You gotta take it to the next level, man. I mean, don't knock yourself out. Don't run into a wall, but just slowly, shamatha vipassana, shamatha vipassana. Shamatha is where we went out and did some changing in vipassana, but we need to rest. Shamatha, you're not trying to change anything, you're trying to get a little peace. You get that peace, and now you got to decide. You got to make a decision what to do with that peace. And most people decide to wrap themselves in a little blanket of a cocoon with that peace. That's not the best use of that peace. It's not the best use of that peace. The best use of that peace is to examine the nature of reality. That peace is like a powerful microscope in which you can examine the nature of reality and explore some possibility of changing your ways. It's just letting go, learning to let go, learning to let law is, learning to let your law mix with heaven. It's just this total letting go. It's your senses. You know, you use your senses. You use your I don't know how to describe it exactly, but the thing that really always comes to mind is Luke. Go with the force. Go with the force, Luke. You go with the force. The force is this letting go, this, we call it radiation without a radiator. You got all this energy that's, and you go with that, and you got this, it has an emotional, I think it has sometimes, it doesn't need to be emotional, but losing your ego, you can feel some emotional tint to that. But it's just like, I don't know, it's just like losing. The Zen teacher says you have to learn to invest in loss. Loss. Nobody wants anything to do with that. Nobody wants to invest in this loss. You got to learn to invest in loss. You got to learn to invest in loss. Vipassana is like investing in loss. Investing in losing the whole thing. So you use that piece to examine that, whatever, you know, if it's just riding out on your senses and experiencing the world in a new, fresh way, that's kind of what it is. You know, if it's losing ground, that's what it is. If it's, I like to tell the story of this little brown rabbit. I've told this story before in this series, but I will tell it again, I guess. He's sitting out in this field, and all around the field is these trees. And you think that guy is just waiting to be eaten by coyotes or jackals or foxes or wolves, and it's just a numbers game, but it's not as simple as that. He does have something. That rabbit has something, and you got something too, but you don't use it. You're the one that's just about to be eaten by the coyotes or the jackals or the wolves, because you don't do what that rabbit does. What that rabbit does, he sits in the middle of that field and he totally relaxes. And he becomes his environment. You could do that too in meditation. You could relax totally and become your environment. You just become, it's a function of relaxation. Vipassana equals relaxation of the body. Relaxation of the body equals Vipassana. There's no possibility of having Vipassana and having tension in the body. It's 100%. You got relaxation of the body, you got Vipassana. You got Vipassana, you got relaxation of the body. So all this work on relaxing the body is powerful, powerful. Not only does it completely inform our shamatha, it completely gives us a tool, the supreme tool of shamatha. Is this what I'm trying to show you? Is the supreme tool of shamatha. But just as much so, it's the supreme tool of Vipassana. The supreme tool of Vipassana is you relax your body and you have a partial experience. Totally 100%. They're totally equal. Believe it or not, that's the truth. So, but always in Vipassana, oh, well, I didn't finish about the rabbit. Okay, so the rabbit is sitting here, and he's relaxed into this field. And if a coyote pokes his nose, if a coyote breathes, if a coyote steps on a leaf, even very gently, this rabbit is boom. Rabbit knows everything. Rabbit knows everything. He's become that environment. That environment and that rabbit are one and the same. He has no enemies that he need to worry about. There is no enemy. I know everything. I'm omniscient in my little field, and when a coyote comes, I leave, you know. Coyote come, I leave. I mean, I'm all over it. Coyote come, I know what to do. I have no fear of anything. If he gets distracted, he's going to get eaten like a... You are always distracted, you're going to get eaten. You get eaten. But if you get good Vipassana, you don't get eaten. You don't have no enemies. You are one with reality, and it is all gravy, and nothing comes out of you without you know it's coming. You know, you may not be able to do anything about it, but you know it's coming, and this is a little different ball game. You know, you're not inwardly, you're not overthrown. You know, you may outwardly, you may get a little overthrown, but really, you just learn how to deal with anything at that time. You know, and you know it's coming. You knew it. You could see it coming 2 weeks, 10 months ago. You knew it was coming. You know everything is coming. So in Vipassana, you forget what you're doing. The rabbit kind of forgets where the hell he is. He had a nice time out there. You know, for a while he was sharp, but he lost his sharp quality and he kind of forgot what the hell he was doing, forgot who the hell he was. Or he gets scared out of his ego, he gets kind of freaked out and gets scared. Or it's just time to go back to shamatha. He's exhausted his peace with which he was able to do this powerful Vipassana practice, but it's like he's used it up. It's time to go back to shamatha. As always, the end result of Vipassana always is, it's time to go back to shamatha. It's time to sharpen up a little bit. But what is so beautiful about this system is, when you come back to shamatha at that point, all of a sudden you go, whoa, I'm at such a different level. My shamatha was down here when I left on this little circular, spiraling, upward, beautiful thing, which can also be a spiraling, downward, not so beautiful thing. It's one or the other. People like to think, I don't need to change, and I'm not going up, baby, but I'm not going down. I'm just, that's not true at all. You're always either going up, you put in the effort, the right effort, and you go up. You do not put in the right effort and you just go down. You're never, I'm just the same. You think you are. Everybody thinks they are, but that's not the case. You're either involving yourself in samsara or you are involving yourself in nirvana, which is really the union of samsara and nirvana. It's not exactly nirvana, but you're going one way or the other. You're going in a virtuous spiral or you're going in a non-virtuous spiral. If you're practicing your Alexander, you're practicing your meditation, you're going in a virtuous spiral and you're having so much fun. It's just learning, endless learning, and there's nothing but learning. There's nothing that interests you but learning. Sure, I take care of my earth. If you ignore the earth, you will get knocked down by the earth. If you don't pay your bills, your creditors will be showing up, kicking your butt. So you take care of the earth, and that supports the whole thing, and you always surrender into heaven, and then you join the two to help yourself, help others.